Okay, we are live. It says right there, you are live. Let's just prepare here. Okie dokie. Let's see here. Get this right there. Right there. Let's do some thumbnail action. That's how I always do it. Got to keep the mic out of the shot. There you go. Do one of these. I like one of these. What if I made a thumbnail like that, where I'm just like totally over there instead of, hey. Well, for those of you joining in, welcome to this very, very late Friday Night Live where we are going to discuss a whole bunch of stuff. I am back in the saddle and I am hoping I am reaching you guys well. Hope you're having a great evening wherever you are in the world. The contents of this show tonight, this live stream, we are going to be taking a look at the history of Papa John's, the history of the weed eater. Something you don't really think about too much is a piece of equipment that you kind of detail your yard whenever you mow the lawn. You kind of wonder. That struck me. I was thinking, when did weed eaters start coming out in the first place? They did have the sickles back in the day, whatever, working whatever, but yeah, the weed eater. And the history of bottled water, which is also something we don't really think about, but it does have a fascinating bit of history to it. So we're going to take a look at that, some upcoming movies, some upcoming music albums, because I still love music, even though I'm at that age where I should not care about listening to new music and just listen to the same stuff I listened to when I was a teenager. But no, there's always something new that comes out that always strikes my fancy. And then we are going to go into the mailbag and see what kind of fun comments I have gotten in my videos lately. So I could finally do something like that. I've always wanted to, back in the day when I first started the show, I always wanted to do like a mailbag segment, but nobody ever commented. But that was like 4 or 5 years ago now. It's going on and on. But anyways, we are also going to review some Mogu Mogu drinks, which I will discuss what Mogu Mogu is when we get into it. But first off, today is August 18th, 2023. Do you know where your children are? That's an old reference to a commercial from the 80s, I think. And also, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you're at a dead end in your life or things are looking up, whatever questions you want to ask or any advice, anything you want to say, just go ahead and comment in the live chat here. I want to make sure that's rolling right. And we are good there. There we are. There we are. Okay, I just want to make sure. I'm sure that's very entertaining for the people watching. Okay, so it is August 18th, 2023, and on this day in 1686, Giovanni Domenico Cassini first reports observing a satellite orbiting Venus. And satellite, it's not report, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, anyways, it goes deeper in whatever. 1825 on this day, Alexander Gordon Laing reaches Timbuktu. He was the first European to reach the fabled city by crossing overland from Tripoli, traveling more than 2,200 miles to do so. Liang was killed on the return journey by Tuareg raiders that ambushed his expedition. Interesting. On this day, in the year 1900, the word television is coined. During a presentation at the Paris International Electricity Conference, Konstantin Persikiy, a Russian scientist, first used the word in a paper presented on the use of photoelectric selenium to transmit images. Yeah, those are some words there I have never used maybe once in the past 20 years, so bear in mind that. 1914, President Woodrow Wilson issues the Proclamation of Neutrality. The proclamation was meant to keep the United States out of World War I, but after months of German attacks on American shipping vessels that were resupplying England, the U.S. decided to enter the war. Now, that's another thing I always just, as an American, I guess we're supposed to care about, like, what's happened, but I think we just stick our noses too deep into other people's business, and yeah, it's just a problem. Did I ever see Van Helsing with Wolverine? Yes, I did. I cried during that movie. Jimmy, you're aware of that. That's why you're asking, just so you could tell me that. Hi, Jimmy. How are you? This day in 1920, the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution is ratified. And there we go with that. 1932, Jim Mollison makes the first east to west solo flight across the Atlantic Ocean. 1943, Betty Smith publishes A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. The book about the life of the tenements of Brooklyn, New York, went to become an American classic. I am very parched. That's why I'm going. So I'm going to try this pink guava Mogu Mogu. Let's start there with this. Now, I love guava. And Mogu Mogu, if you do not know, is a juice drink that has chunks of baby coconut inside. And the baby coconut basically sucks up all the flavor of whatever flavor the juice is. So the chunks of baby coconut in here are going to be pink guava flavor. And let's see what this tastes like. Very chunky. Tastes great. I don't know, the pink guava has a weird taste to it, though. I don't know, opposed to regular guava. I'll show you something that's really cool. You walked into a filibuster. I'll show you a filibuster in a second, Jimmy. I'll filibust you in a minute. I hope so. I hope you feel my buster. Okay, Mogu Mogu Pink Guava has a bit of a wang to it. A little bit of a tang, but it does have that guava flavor. Not that big of a fan, though. As much as I do love guava flavored stuff, this has too much of a tang where it just feels like tastes like it's fermented. I'll give this one a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, not really that good. Anyways, my throat has been quenched, and we are now moving on to what else happened on this day throughout the years. It's August 18th. And is there anything cool that happened besides, like, some book that's apparently a classic that came out like ages ago? Not really. All right, so we are done with that segment. Whoop! And now we are getting into something I picked up in Morocco. Now, this may not seem like anything special. Yeah, crispy M&Ms. But if you take a very big, closer look here, there is some Arabic writing to it. And I am just curious, because I am very familiar with what crispy M&Ms, at least here on the United States side, taste like. But what do they actually taste like when they come from a totally different continent? I don't know. We shall see right now. Oh, well, right away, I'm just looking at these, and the M&Ms kind of have a pastel color to them, the shell at least. Like, it's not as vibrant as the M&Ms you could get over here. So that's different right off the map, right off the bit. So Hmm. I'm gonna bite one of these. I'll choose the green since green is my favorite color. The crunchy bit inside of the M&M seems to be much larger than what I'm used to, at least here in the U.S. Now, plenty of M&Ms vary, whatever, but um, the chocolate has a bit of a different taste to it as well. It seems to have more of a cacao, natural cacao taste, and it's not like overtly sweet. So, they're decent. They're good. So there you go. Crispy M&Ms from Morocco. Got a little bit of a different variant to it than the usual stuff. So there you go there. All right. Now we are going to be moving on to one of the highlighted items of the show here tonight. Papa John's. The history of Papa John's. I remember when I was a kid, right? And I saw these commercials for Papa John's. These were like the mid 90s. You could look it up. The commercial had like this kid where it was supposed to be Papa John, the creator of Papa John's, and it was like talking about how he used to work at another pizza place and everything was by the cans and it was just like all crappy however they made the pizza. And Papa John at the time, as a teenager, he was just Son John at the time. He was just like, I want to make pizzas that had better ingredients, better pizza. And it cuts to, this grandpa or some guy like really sprinkling and fine tuning the ingredients into this pot or whatever they're doing over the pie and making it look like so good, like, oh, authentic, like it's made from Italy or something. But yeah, I remember seeing that and I was always fascinated. Okay, where did Papa John's come from then? Well, I will tell you after this pop-up gets out of here. So the history of Papa John's starts in 1984, and this is when it was founded by Papa John Schnatter, and he knocked out a broom closet in the back of his father's tavern, Mick's Lounge, in Jeffersonville, Indiana, right in the heart of the Midwest. And from what I read, he started just like making pizzas from this one pizza oven. He sold his Camaro for like, I don't know, $1,500 or something to buy pizza making equipment. And so sold his Camaro, took the money, invested into pizza making equipment, and he started selling these pizzas out of his dad's tavern in the back, out of this broom closet. And apparently business picked up. There was a lot of drunk people there, apparently, just wanting something to eat. So they had some pizzas there. So by 1985, March of 1985, there were two partners and a few helpers that were making 3,000 to 4,000 pizzas a week. So that's pretty crazy. Just not even within a year, just this kid starting in the back selling pizzas out of a closet and selling 4,000 pizzas every week. That's pretty crazy. So then in 1985, later on, Papa John's, the first restaurant, opens up in a retail space that is right next to Papa John's dad's tavern. And then in 1986, January, the company was incorporated and able to stand on its own. Also in 1986, franchising of Papa John's Pizza's restaurants started. And then 3 more years later, in 1989, behind the focused strength of this strategy, Papa John's generated revenues of $500,000 in its first year and opened 2 more restaurants in Kentuckiana region. I didn't know that exists. Kentuckiana somewhere within the borders of Indiana and Kentucky, I guess. Then it was franchised out. The company headquarters were then shifted to Louisville, Kentucky in 1989. Also in 1989, Schnatter enlisted the services of pizza industry veteran Dan Holland to help the company strengthen its financial base and fashion a strategy of further growth. By 1990, Gotti's and Pizza Hut, Holland took over as company president in 1990 and bought more than a decade worth of experience in the pizza business to Papa John's. That is written horribly, but regardless, this one dude brought a lot of knowledge of the pizza business to Papa John's by 1990. By 1993 in June, Papa John's went public with an initial offering of $1.55 million shares at $13 a share. Let's see. The 400 store opened a little later in 1993. And just as Papa John's was nearing the 500th store milestone in mid of 1994, it was named by Business Week as the nation's best-run small business, based on the 3-year results of sales growth and blah, 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 blah. 1994, for instance, approximately 80% of all purchases were made using a coupon at a savings of about 17%. And 1995, there was so much growth happening. It was just crazy. And that's when a Papa John's started popping up where we lived in the suburbs of St. Louis. 1996, another milestone was reached when the 1,000th Papa John's opened. The menu was tweaked. It was tweaked in October of 1996 with the addition of thin crust pizza to go alongside the traditional crust. Now, also, let's dig a little deeper into the crust of a Papa John's pizza. The biggest thing that really pushed Papa John's pizzas more than anything else was obvious. You think about it. What do you get in a Papa John's pizza that you don't get automatically from other pizza joints? It's the pepperoncini and the garlic dipping sauces. And the garlic dipping sauces is just what set Papa John's apart from any place else, because nobody else was doing that at the time. Like now, Domino's, Pizza Hut, they all have their imitation Papa John's garlic dipping sauces, but Papa John's did it first. And I remember in the mid-90s when the Papa John's opened up in my area, and we got this dipping, so it was like, what? Oh, okay, you're supposed to take the crust and dip it in the garlics? Blew my mind, So that was like, I think within the first year, like by 1985, Papa John's was selling those little dipping cups or whatever, or it came with a pizza for free, whatever. But that started like right off the hip there. And that's what I think, all it takes is that one little, we all got to find our little garlic dipping sauce cup in life and just ride that all the way to the bank. But that's how they did it. 1997, a year later, there were 500 stores, and it had 500 stores added, and there was 1,500 stores altogether. By 1998, the Papa John's system included 9 commissaries, distribution centers, supporting more than 1,500 units. Expansion started also in 1998 in Puerto Rico and Mexico. By 1999, in late 1999, a jury found both companies guilty, and January, what? Oh, Papa John's had to stop using the better ingredients. I don't recall that, but I think I always remember hearing better ingredients, better pizza at Papa John's thing. Maybe they added better pizza at Papa John's. It does. Who knows? All right. I don't know why I'm whispering, but we're doing that now, apparently. Hello, ASMR. Papa John's History ASMR. Hello. Hi. Anyways, 2001, Papa John's nears 3,000 stores. 2003, on the overseas front, Papa John's entered China, and it's also in the United Kingdom as well. Let's see. In 2005, they had some problems. They started seeing falling profits, and that's when Schnatter stepped down as CEO for the first time. 2009, Schnatter bought the Camaro, the same Camaro that he sold to buy the pizza equipment to start his business in the first place. He bought it back in 2009 for $250,000. Schnatter tapped a former executive, and I don't know. Okay, there's like all this controversy always. I love the guy who created Papa John's. I think he's really cool. I follow him on Instagram. He has a lot of wisdom. And it's like, okay, oh, there's some controversy behind him, but like anybody that really just put it all out there and started a business from scratch and really just had the gusto to do that, like they're not going to be some hokey, oh, I'm a nice guy all around. Like they're going to have some grit to them where the people are going to look at him and be like, oh, there's something there. He was kind of mean right there. I don't know if he... Get out of here. That's the same thing with Ray Kroc. There's everybody always gets mad at him. Oh, Ray Kroc, he stole it from the McDonald brothers. Or like, oh, Ray Kroc, him and his wife had problems. And it's like, that was his personal life. Like, I'm sure you have something in your personal life that isn't the best either, but, at least Ray Kroc took a burger business and made it a $1 billion thing. What did you do, So, it is what it is, but by 2012, Schnatter began being involved in politics. Here we go again. Everybody's just talking about that. I want to see where we are now. Where is Papa John's? Where is Papa John's standing right now? November 2021, Papa John's announced it was rebranding its logo by removing the apostrophe and simplifying the design. Yeah, I don't really like that new design. It looks simple, but it's just kind of like bland. Like, does everybody just want to go to straight boring mode on everything? Like how the McDonald's buildings look now compared to the mansard style roofs and everything that made McDonald's fun to go to and look at and enter. Now it looks like a Starbucks that just serves burgers instead of coffee. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I think it's time to review another Mogu Mogu. So this one is pina colada flavor here. I don't know if you can hear anything in the background. It kind of calmed down, but here in small town USA this weekend, it's homecoming weekend. Everyone's excited about the old high school football game. That's what happens when you live in a town that has nothing going on. You get excited about the high school football game. All right. Well, pina colada, it's there. It's okay. You taste the pineapple. You taste the coconut. But this one, too, also has kind of like a fermented kind of taste to it. And it's not because it's bad. It's just like, I don't know what they put in it to give it kind of a wang taste. But I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Not the best. Anyways, we are now working on to the history of the weed eater. All right, now strap in. It's crazy. So there are 2 different types of histories. You can look up the weed eater, which is an actual like trademarked brand, but the actual term for the instrument is called a string trimmer. So a string trimmer, weed eater, some people call it a weed whacker. And I didn't know this until I was doing some research here. Some people call it the whipper snipper as well. So let's just read this, what it is. A string trimmer, also known as blah blah blah, is a garden tool for cutting grass, small weeds, and ground cover. It uses a whirling monofilament line instead of a blade, which protrudes from a rotating spindle at the end of a long shaft topped by a gasoline engine or electric motor. String trimmers are commonly used for cutting low foliage near obstacles or on steep or irregular terrain. Most professional grade line trimmers can accept attachment blades to be used as brush cutters for more dense vegetation. And I have lost all my viewers. The show must go on. All right, so the history about the weed eater, the string trimmer. Hold on. The first brush cutter was produced in Japan in 1960. So it goes all the way back to 1960 by the brand Echo, which I've used an Echo before. They're hit and miss. They're kind of trash in a lot of ways, but yeah. When they do work, they actually do work. The U.S. string trimmer was invented in the early 1970s by George Ballas of Houston, Texas, who conceived the idea while watching the revolving action of the cleaning brushes in an automatic car wash. His first trimmer was made by attaching pieces of heavy-duty fishing line to a tin can bolted to an edger. Ballas developed this into what he called the weed eater, since it chewed up the grass and weeds around the trees. The word strimmer is correctly a trade name for a particular make of string trimmer, but it's often used as a generic for any string trimmer. Kind of like how, you're going to go play that Nintendo, how Nintendo is always just kind of coined as like any game system, whatever. Okay, so this is kind of interesting here. When it comes to weed eaters, they're called different things in different countries. So in South Africa, it's called a line trimmer or a brush cutter. In Australia, they're called whippersnippers. Of course, Australia would call them whippersnippers. And in the UK or Ireland, it's called a strimmer, a grass trimmer, or brush cutters. So that is all the fun and crazy facts about the weed eater. Do you know how to start a weed eater? Did your dad take you out on a hot summer day and help you string a weed eater? There's plenty of different ways you could string a weed eater. Some weed eaters are harder to string than others. Sometimes you got the ones where you put the string through the middle. There's like a little tunnel, and then they both come out, and then you gotta go around here. I have a bug crawling on my NWO sign, but hi, by the way. Okay, let me take a look here. Where is that bug? Thanks, good looking out. I think I have a few bugs actually because, hang on. Let's get this. Good looking out, brother. Thank you. I don't know. It looked like they were all just dead on there. They crawled up there and they thought, okay, this is a good place to die. Considering most bugs have a lifespan of 14 days or something, you could only go so long and then you just die. Okay, so we are now moving on to the history of bottled water. I don't know how deep I'm going to go into this, but just before I looked into this, all I thought bottled water, where did that even come from? I felt like being an 80s baby, a 90s kid, I felt like bottled water started coming out in the late 80s, early 90s. But no, not at all. Bottled water actually was a thing in 1622. And it says here, although vessels to bottle and transport water were part of the earliest human civilizations, Bottling water began in the United Kingdom with the first water bottling at the Holy Well in 1622. The demand for bottled water was fueled in large part by the resurgence in spa going and water therapy among Europeans and American colonists in the 17th and 18th centuries. Crazy, I know. The first commercially distributed water in America was bottled and sold by Jackson Spa in Boston in 1767. And early drinkers of bottled spa waters believed that the water at these mineral springs had therapeutic properties and that bathing in or drinking the water could help treat many common ailments. Much like back then, people thought like sodas in the 1800s would like treat so many things. Like, I know the guy that created Coca-Cola was trying to find a cure for opioid addiction. And he said Coca-Cola would be the thing that would cure it, but that did more harm than good. Let's see here. Is there anything? Let's get to like the more common stuff. Like in the 20th century, the popularity of bottled water declined in the early 20th century when the advent of water chlorinization reduced public concerns about waterborne diseases in municipal water supplies, but it remained popular in Europe, where it spread to cafes and grocery stores in the second half of the century. Perrier water had been bottled since the 19th century and widely sold throughout the British Empire. In 1977, Perrier launched in the United States. Today, bottled water is the second most popular commercial beverage in the United States and about half the domestic consumption of soft drinks. That's about half. So there is that. I remember I was in a grocery store with my parents when I was a kid, and my parents never believed in drinking out of like bottled water or anything. You just get it straight out of the tap. That's how I'm kind of probably a little rugged, maybe not all there, but I mean, I think everybody drank out of the tap when we were kids. I mean, it's no big thing, but I know, obviously, drinking water out of the bottle was a thing even back then. And I remember we were in an aisle, and this old lady asked my mom where the drinking water was. And my mom, I guess, directed her into a place, and my dad was like, I think I get my loud mouth from him. He goes and says to her, "You get it out of the faucet!" So there's my story about drinking water. My first, I guess, thought about it. Oh, now we're moving on to yet another one. I think I've tried this one already. This is Mogu Mogu lychee juice. Let's try it out. That is good. I swear, anything that is lychee juice flavored, it is so good. Yeah, my mama. Now, this is a flavor I think I will actually smash the entire bottle while I'm drinking and chewing. As this bottle does say, I want to check up on my chat. Okay. Some dude commented about the bug crawling. Can you stop being boring? I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to do? Backflips? You want me to juggle knives? I don't know. There's like a lot of other things you could watch. You could just like click off this video, It's like I don't like click on, I don't know, an Adele music video and expect her to entertain me. because it's not my thing, you know? Thanks, Snick of Gaming. Appreciate you, brother. That's something I want to do. I want to get into more gaming stuff. But with me, I'm just like, do a backflip. I wish I could. I'd do it right into these cans that are worth like a decent amount of money. How about you dance and play All-Star? Hey now, you're an All-Star. Get your game on. Go. There you go. How about that for entertaining? It's all good, brother. Criticism, whatever you want to say, it's all good. You don't have to like it. It's still cool. We're all just people living here on Earth, just enjoying the time we got. You do you, you know. But like I was saying, I was wanting to do more gaming stuff. You're acting like a 6-year-old. Well, you are commenting on my stuff, brother. Brother. I mean, I think anybody that has a level amount of maturity or like an actual adult wouldn't be watching anything on YouTube. They'd be like, they're probably asleep right now. So anybody that has a low amount of maturity is up at these hours. There we go. There was let me look that up real quick, actually. That was an actual career back in the day of like kings, when the king would sit on the throne and ask for entertainment because, back then, no TV, no nothing. People would come up and entertain the king. They had jesters and all that stuff. But there was something back then called, I want to do the history on like a deep dive into it. Something called a flatulist. And this was okay, I got the Wikipedia out. So a flatulist is a professional farter, or simply, it's an entertainer often associated with flatulence-related humor, whose routine consists solely or primarily of passing gas in a creative, musical, or amusing manner. The history goes back all the way, let's see, his 1522 commentary to Augustine's work. So, let's see. There's a guy, Michael D. Mongain. He mentioned something about, I don't know. Anyways, there was a saying, a quote, "Such command of their bowels that they can break wind continuously at will so as to produce the effect of singing." Someone mentioned about a flatulist back in the day. Yeah, so notable flatulists. There's a list of notable flatulists here. Professional farters. Harris Levi from Brooklyn. He's a contemporary flatulist. Lee Petomane performed in France from 1887 until 1914. Roland the Farter. He was a flatulist in the court of King Henry II of England. Will the Farter from the Howard Stern Show. I actually am subscribed to his YouTube channel. Yeah, you should check him out. Will the Farter. He's got some good stuff. Oh, and Terrence and Phillip of South Park, I guess you can consider them flatulists in character form, at least. So, I mean, anything that seems crazy right now under the sun, I mean, the history of people goes back so far that it's been done, but no one from back then is here today, so it all seems new, but everything that is old is new once again. You know, nothing is new under the sun. It just recycles into a different way, shape, or form. It's kind of like music right now. Like the same stuff I hear rappers sing about now in their songs is what I heard in emo music back in the day. It's like rap used to be like really, really tough. Now it's like emo, just in beat form and rap form. All right, so now we are moving on to upcoming movies. I don't know which movies you have watched, but I watched the Barbie movie. It was amazing. I just gotta say, it was amazing. And what else did I see? I didn't see Oppenheimer. I did see Mission Impossible. That was good all around. It was a very good standard range Mission Impossible movie. Wasn't the best one. I think the best one, maybe it's just because nostalgic reasons. But yeah, I think Mission Impossible 1 or 2 is the best. Mission Impossible 2 had a great soundtrack. I remember when that Limp Bizkit song came out. It's like that's when I fell in love with Limp Bizkit, really. Um, but yeah. So coming up, new releases in movies. We got The Blue Beetle, which I never read any comic books. Someone messaged live chat. Barbie movie, skull, 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 skull. I saw your McDonald's pizza box on the shelf there and had to look it up. I never knew that it existed. Have you ever tried it before? No, sadly, this pizza box I think comes from the 80s. Let me take a look. I know there's a date on it on the back, I think. Like, there's some different iterations. McDonald's tried to put pizza out a bunch of different times. 1989 right there, so that's from 89. At first they tried to make, traditional pizza like that, and then they went to the, let's see if I could put that up right. And then they went to the like hot pocket style where it came in a little sleeve and it was just like a single serve. You eat it almost like a turnover style pie kind of thing. That didn't work out either. I think that was in the early 90s they tried that. I do want to do a history of McDonald's pizza, but there's so many instances that McDonald's pizza has come out and come again, and it's out in different countries. And I think the only way you could get a McDonald's pizza in the United States is if you go to the McDonald's in Orlando, Florida. I think it's like they call it the world's largest McDonald's. I don't know if it is anymore, but it's like one of the largest McDonald's, and you could get a McDonald's pizza there, which at some point I would love to do. But no, I have never tried a McDonald's pizza. That's going to be like one of the biggest cheat day reviews I will ever do if that ever happens. But yeah. So it's McDonald's pizza has a crazy, crazy wild time. So the Blue Beetle is out right now. I don't care about seeing that. Oh, I did see the Indiana Jones movie. The fifth one. I do say it's better than the fourth because the fourth one is a complete horror show. The fifth one wasn't bad. Yeah, I mean, it could have been better, but it wasn't bad to the point where you're completely disgusted with it. But yeah. August 25th, we have Gran Turismo, a movie based off of a PlayStation video game. I never really got into Gran Turismo games. I don't know why. It is a popular game, though. Anything else coming out in August that seems good? No, not really. Slaughterhouse. It's a horror comedy. guess about a killer sloth. Yeah, so. Let's see, September 1st, there is a movie called Mr. Jimmy. It's a documentary, but it doesn't look like anything else. Crypt of Evil coming out September 4th. The Evil of Dracula, if you're a vampire type person, you may want to check that out. We've got The Nun coming out September 8th. The Nun 2, actually. My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the 3. There's a third one. I think the first one came out in the late 90s. It's taken them quite a bit to keep making that thing happen. I haven't seen any of those. Let's see. Anything good? We're in September 15th now. The Expendables 4, September 22nd. That's coming out. And Saw 10, September 29th, just in time for Halloween. So you got a solid month to go check it out and get spooky. Paw Patrol, The Mighty Movie, September 29th. Paw Patrol only stuck out because I know, like, so many, my friends have kids and they watch that, so I'm aware of what Paw Patrol is. But besides that, yeah. There's not really anything good coming out, really, with movies. Now we're getting into October and there's really nothing. Can we talk about how the Dumb and Dumber series, if you ever watched Dumb and Dumber with Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, the first one was perfect. It was perfection. And then we thought we were going to get a sequel, which was Dumb and Dumberer, which was actually a prequel to the original. And it was played by different characters, or different actors. And the actors, you got to have Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels play Lloyd and Harry. It's not going to work any other way. Dumb and Dumberer was horrible. And then we finally got our sequel, Dumb and Dumberer 2, with Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. But it was, I don't know, 20 years later, 25 years later. And I remember sitting down with my dad and we started watching it. And we turned it off halfway through because it was just, I don't know, it wasn't good. Let's just say that. So, gotta disregard 2 whole movies out of that franchise and just forget about it. It's like you could dream and dream and dream, and then when it comes, it's just horrible. Sad day. Let's see. Let me just check up on the chats, make sure I got everything taken care of. For 7 days. I don't know what you're referring to, dude, but for 7 days indeed, yes. Now we are getting into, we got 2 more things happening. We are getting into upcoming music that's coming out from August 18th. We'll do a solid till September 18th. Do that. Or the end of September. So I'm just going to read some bands or albums that may stick out for me. And we'll go from there. So August 18th, which is actually today, the albums that have come out that seems like, okay, all right, it's something, you know. There is there was nothing. There was a whole list of albums, but I see nothing. Addison Rae, who is that? I think I've heard of Addison Rae. Oh, is she like a TikToker? What, she has an album out? Oh, God. I can only imagine what that sounds like. I'm sure she was really heavy into the songwriting on that album. Yeah. August 25th, we have Alice Cooper with Road coming out. Alice Cooper, he has to be like, I don't know, he has to be out there, 75 years old, putting out a new album. Good for him. We have Asking Alexandria, a band I wasn't in, but I was in a metal band a long time ago, and a few of the members of the band really liked them. They're coming out with an album. Where do we go from here? I guess the Hot Topic. Candlebox, The Long Goodbye. I love Candlebox. They're a big band in the 90s. Filter, The Algorithm. Is this Filter with Richard Patrick? Okay. All right. I was watching Filter and what they were doing the past couple of years. Like, he was really meddling through and changing up the name of the upcoming album for ages and ages. I didn't look for a little bit, and here it is. It's coming out August 25th. The Algorithm by Filter is dropping. I'm sure it's going to not be as good as Short Bus, but one could hope. Tim McGraw with Standing Room Only. That's coming out also on the 25th. And nothing else in August. Getting into September 1st, we have Primal Fear, The Pretenders. That's about it for that. September 8th, Olivia Rodrigo with Guts. The album Guts is coming out. The Chemical Brothers. I love the Chemical Brothers. For That Beautiful Feeling. That album, it's their 10th studio album. That is coming out September 8th. Puddle of Mud, Ubiquitous, is also coming out September 8th. And Saliva, what is this, 2002? With Revelation is coming out. So that's cool. Once again, what is this, 2002? September 15th, we've got Bare Naked Ladies with In Flight, September 15th. Demi Lovato with Revamped. I think she's like doing rock versions of her stuff or something now. Yeah. Stained. That was a big band. I used to listen to Stained. They're coming out with a new album, Confessions of the Fallen. I'm sure it's probably going to be more, I don't know, country driven, given that Aaron Lewis, the singer, is like far off country boy living in the woods and hunting deer and all that, 30 Seconds to Mars with The End of the World, but It's a Beautiful Day. That's coming out September 15th. And Willie Nelson with Bluegrass coming out September 15th. Okay, so September 22nd. These are going to be all the albums coming out September 22nd. If there is anything. Cannibal Corpse with Chaos Horrific. We've got Kylie Minogue with Tension. I love me some Kylie. And Slater with Star Effer. That's coming out as well. I like Slater. She's cool. Or is it a dude? I don't know. And September 29th, we've got Blackstone Cherry with Screaming at the Sky. We've got Animal Collective with Isn't It Now. We've got Taproot with Scissors. Yeah. Okay, let me check up on the live chat, make sure. Say a swear word. Crap. Man, this is a bunch of crap. My dad won't let me stay the night at Greg's. It's a bunch of crap, man. We were going to get pizza from Domino's and we were going to play multiplayer online. He said no, because I spend too much time on my iPad. Bunch of crap. Anyways, we are down to our last Mogu Mogu drink we are going to review tonight, and it is your typical standard orange. I wasn't expecting this to taste as much of a like orange juice flavor or orange soda flavor. It tastes a lot like orange juice. Can we get a burp? I'll try, man. Would you slap yourself for $5 million? Bro, I would slap myself for $500 or $100 for that matter. But just like the one dude in Jerry Maguire, show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. What about 600? Man, just imagine if he had that bunch of money. Like, that's like, I don't know, a trillion, billion. You know, there was this project in sixth grade we did where it was like if you had $1 million, you had to like figure out exactly like to the very last cent or like about $1, like spend $1 million. So I wound up buying like a house, or I looked in the pages, found a house for this much amount with this like little commercial property attached to it on the side. So I'm like, okay, that would be my house, and then this commercial property be my like used video games and used CDs store. You know, that's the dream. You know, then you have arcades in the background, and you could, yeah, a claw machine, dude, that'd be so cool. Bunch of like candy machines and all that. That'd be awesome. To this day, I still have that mindset where I'm like, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome. I mean, look, I don't have to have $1 million. I got my arcades right there. I tend to keep them off just because I don't want to burn out the screens if I'm not playing them. But, you know, when people are around here, I'll turn them on, you know. One of these days, I just want to turn them on and just, like, sleep in this room. And just, like, have the glow of the arcade screens as my little nightlight. All right. See you later, bro. Have a good weekend. Enjoy it. What is today? Is today Friday? Or is it... I don't know. It's Friday. Okay. Thank God. Anyways, we are now looking into the mailbag. The mailbag. And looking at the comments on my YouTube channel. And we're just going to take a gander and see what people have to say. I do have to give a big shout out to Maximus the Fourth. He does a lot of stuff like I do. Talks about soda, just tries different things. He's been eating a lot of food. He eats so much food that I couldn't even imagine trying to like eat and put in my little stomach. But he could do it. But check him out, Maximus the Fourth. The fourth is spelled out the actual number 4 and then TH. And it's all one word, Maximus the Fourth. Check him out. He's got some really good stuff. He's like one of the only YouTubers I'm actually like whenever a new video drops, it's like I go there right away. I have to watch it. But anyways, because he's always commenting on my stuff. But just a shout out to him. And okay, right off the hip, the McDonald's documentary. One guy just simply called it McGarbage. And that seems to be, I don't know, a lot of people say McGarbage, where they just like call McDonald's garbage, but yet they still eat it. Let's see, people are asking for music advice, but it's like technical stuff that, you know, it is. Okay, someone said about wild cherry Pepsi, one of my favorite cherry flavors, they said it's nasty and has a dirt aftertaste. I don't know about you, but maybe you got a bad batch, but I don't know. Anytime I've ever had cherry Pepsi, it's been great. Someone said on the McDonald's documentary, fun fact, McDonald's would rather die than just give a homeless person a free cup of water to survive on the streets. I don't know where this person is coming from. But I would always just think, like, if you can't get a cup of water from McDonald's, I mean, you could go to a park. There's plenty of places that have water fountains, you know. And I think, I don't know. I mean, where's your source? Is there a? Let me just search this. Let's do a deep dive. Let's just give this claim some justice here. And see. Let's just search homeless person water cup McDonald's. Let's see if anything comes up. Okay, so there's McDonald's employee caught on camera throwing water at homeless. Let's turn that down. This was 7 years ago, so I'm like, okay. Oh, here we go. Find single Ukrainian women. Nice little ad there. Like that. McDonald's worker fired from throwing water on homeless man. Video shows McDonald's worker taught homeless man. I don't think it's a McDonald's problem. I think it's just a McDonald's employee problem, which is more or less the public against the public, more than what McDonald's is trying to represent. But I don't know. I guess a nice try trying to make some claim about how evil McDonald's is. Let's see. I see a Surge can in the background. Did you ever try it? How did it taste and how does it compare to Mountain Dew? Yes, I loved Surge back in the day. I remember when it first came out, like the mid 90s. A lot of caffeine, a lot of sugar, but it tasted a lot more refreshing than Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew has more of a sweeter taste. Has the same amount of sugar as Surge, but Surge just had more of a bite, like a citrus bite to it. I think it also... Did it have more caffeine? Yeah, I'm not sure if I could look at this can, because this is like a reissue can. They brought Surge back for a little bit in the mid 2010s, but they since discontinued. I would find cans like these all the time at Dollar Tree, and it's like I regret not picking up more, because at that time, I mean, this channel didn't exist. I really wasn't into can collecting, which is an odd thing to get into in the first place. Like, I didn't care. But man, if a couple years later I would have been like all about it. But this is the only can I drank and for some reason obviously kept, but I didn't keep it for collecting purposes. I just thought, oh, Surge is cool. I'll keep it, why not? But now you find cans of even the reissued stuff for outrageous prices on eBay. Definitely not for $1 anymore at the Dollar Tree. Someone on the McDonald's documentary said, half of this video is irrelevant. Who cares about Ray Kroc's childhood? Why is there 5 minutes on him moving and his girlfriend when he was 15? Well, I mean, if we're going to do a full documentary on something, yeah, I really do hope they bring it back too. But yeah, when you're going to do a documentary on something, I don't know, for me, some documentaries very skim by. It's very low calorie, not very robust. And I think this is just one of the very few people that didn't enjoy it. And the majority of people watch and be like, all right, that was very thorough. That was very, full of meat. If you're going to talk about a business, you do want to cover the people that made the business possible, You want to know their upbringing. You want to know what drove them. So even the finest of details make all the difference. I remember Mike Judge, who created Beavis and Butthead, always say, like, the beauty is in the details. Like, they may not seem that important, but in the big scheme of things, if you leave out those little details, a lot of things just seem very bulky and blank. And it's just like, all right, here's where like, if I didn't do that, if I didn't go over with a fine-tooth comb on over everything and really just there was a lot of things I kept out because, yeah, I didn't think it was that important. But I kept the majority of stuff that I could find, the information, either from books or random web pages or newspaper articles, whatever, and concised it all into a nice story that would be like, okay, we could understand why Ray Kroc was so driven for that. I mean, he just had a thing for just always pushing. I mean, he started pursuing McDonald's when he was in his 50s, when he should have been looking towards retirement. But the dude was just like adamant on just, going hard at it every day. So you got to talk about that kind of stuff. It's just all there is to it. Let's see here. Let's find one more comment to leave this episode, this live stream on, if there is anything. There's one guy that said something about the how I kind of crapped on Little Caesars Pizza and I need to try the deep dish stuff, and how I'm doing my viewers a disservice and all that, which he's probably right, but I still don't trust it. No. All right, here we go. Ray Kroc is a crook. The classic. I know, this is riveting stuff, guys. If they had a burger flavored Dorito, they tried that. It was bad. Okay. We'll leave it on this. I had the Jack in the Crack Bacon Cheddar Potato Wedges tonight, boys. Nice. Jack in the Box. I remember those nights. It's the only thing that was open like at 1 a.m. You drive through there, you get about 8 or 10 tacos with buttermilk ranch and like 2 orders of those mini cinnamon churros. Oof. That's how I wound up getting fat so bad. That was like a regular weekly thing for me. I miss it though. I miss it. I did not like them at all. They taste like the chemicals. They got me sick. There's some people that comment on my videos and think I'm like corporate to these companies or something, like I'm gonna like, oh yeah, let me file the complaint to the high. I'm just some dude, right? You're not speaking to the manager, Karen. All right, so we'll leave it on this. Ray Kroc did not have an ounce of morals in his soul. He's an adulterer, and he probably breathed his last breath proud of being one. May God have mercy on his soul and his third wife's soul. Yeah, I mean, at least Ray Kroc, laid it all out there how it was. And he probably, I don't think he really was an adulterer. He waited until he was divorced from his wife before he even started pursuing Joan. And from what I know, granted, I've looked into things a lot more than most people that comment on my video. Ethel, Ray Kroc's first wife, was kind of just like always nagging him, just always on him, and she didn't understand what Ray was doing, and she wasn't backing him up and like being on his side completely. And so when he met Joan, even though she was married to some other dude or whatever, like she was all about like, well, then I like to think too, I'm not completely just like on Ray Kroc's side. I'm sure seeing Ray Kroc, a powerful man, having a lot of money, that probably had something to do with it, but maybe not everything. But at least Ray talked about it and mentioned it in his book. He could have just not said anything about all his personal life, but he laid it all out there. At least he was honest about things. I don't think there's probably a lot of people that this guy looks up to that doesn't mention anything about their personal lives or anything, any secrets or whatever. I mean, everybody has, nobody's an angel. Let's just say that. Nobody's an angel. And that's just how it is. Hey, Ray Kroc had a lot on his plate. He's under a lot of stress. And when you're just out and about on the thing, I mean, that's just how it is. I'm not condoning it, but it is what it is. Humans are humans, you know? You can't fault somebody for being human. Unless, like, you're just some monk and you just, like, sit on a mountain or whatever, but you're not. You're on my YouTube video commenting. I don't know. Maybe you never had a girlfriend in your life or something. I don't know. All right. Thanks, Dylan. Glad you can make it, brother. We are at the very end, but yeah. You'll be able to rewatch it again. It'll get uploaded. Like, as soon as I stop it, it does the thing. But let's do one more thing. Let's close up the show with a little gambling. Let's turn this down a little bit. There we go. All right. So let's predict how many pulls this is going to take until we hit a jackpot and coins start shooting out of here. First person to comment gets to claim, like, not the money or anything, but like, what is your guess how many pulls it's going to take? Anybody could comment, and we'll see who is the winner. I myself, I'm going to go with my number 8. But maybe sooner or maybe longer. I don't know. So, anybody wants to guess? Dylan says 7. Okay. 14, Snicket Gaming. Okay. All right, well, let's start pulling this thing. I don't want to get too close, the mic too close there. It's going to make so much noise. I'm going to try to get down here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! All right, sooner. we all lost. But hey, no, we're all winners here. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, well, that is the end of the live stream, but I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And if you enjoyed this live stream, let me know. I do these occasionally just because, hey, if I have nothing else to do on a Friday night, I'll hang out here with you guys, whoever wants to join in. And I'm getting my guts ready. I'm getting my confidence ready to try a bottle of Orbits. Awesome stream, very enjoyable. Have a good night. Thank you, Snicket Gaming. You too, man. Take it easy. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself, whatever you enjoy doing. Yeah, I'm going to be chugging down one of these for the next cheat day review, which has been sealed since 1997. So I'm getting the confidence, the bravery ready to start chugging one down, which, for the most part, from what I've seen, is safe to consume. Because what is in here? The ingredients in Orbits is water, glucose, fructose, which is sugar, citric acid, sodium citrate, sugar, gellan gum, natural flavors, xanthan gum, and color. Okay, good luck. Yeah, thanks. So I found the freshest one out of the bunch. I have like 23 bottles of Orbits here, and I'm going to drink one. I'm going to have at least one and see how that goes. I'm going to do it tomorrow, have the video out tomorrow. We shall see what happens. And yeah, that's it. Well, thank you guys for joining and coming along. If you enjoy these live streams, let me know. I'll do more of them. If you thought they sucked, and like one guy on here said it was boring, maybe I'll do some backflips. I'll set it up somewhere else and do a live stream for like 5 minutes. I just do backflips or do juggling act or like tell knock-knock jokes or something. No, I'd never do that. But regardless, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great night. And whatever you enjoy doing, whatever it is, you pursue that. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Don't anybody, if they tell you something that you do is stupid, but it brings you joy, makes you feel good, have a, yeah, just, and go at it full speed because it is your life. You're not living your life for anybody else. All right? No matter what. Dylan, hang on. I saw you pop up. Good night, brother. Have a good weekend. Take it easy. And see y'all later. I'm DJ Glowing Isle. Glowing Isle. Glowing Ice. See you later. See you, Snicker Gaming. Peace out.